We're good. Hey yo, greetings and salutations everybody. I go by the name of Usumuzo Hompo from also known as Upudgambani for the 2Ks are looking. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. So twice, you gotta say it nice. So nice, you better say it twice, mojo. And welcome to yet another cool, fun-filled and educational episode of the Gold Mzansi Chats. And I'm never running alone. Today I've got my co-pilot with me. I don't know how to introduce you, but okay, for people who don't know you, like the people who know you, but for people who don't know you, how would you introduce yourself here?
Okay, thank you first of all for having me.
Shout out.
For the invite. Thank you very much. Liverson.
Sure.
So they call me V, and I prefer V because I think most of the time people will say Vuyisa or Vuyiswa.
Okay, sure.
I'm none of those. Vuyisa. Yes, Vuyisa.
This is the first time I'm saying Vuyisa.
Yeah.
I want to like, yo, sis
Exactly.
Substitute, yeah. Yeah, sure.
So, basically, I don't know, like when I'm introducing myself, it's actually, I'm a freelance and facilitator actually.
Okay, cool.
That's actually what I do professionally. And then I'm a person that love self-development.
Okay, sure, nice.
So I'm actually for anything that actually has to do with developing a young person. I think I always like to support any kind of learning. So yeah, I think that's me. So I actually do whatever I find myself my hands doing, or that I find myself my hands that can do. Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. It's about doing it has.
It's about doing it. Opportunist, basically.
Okay,
so
sure.
That's actually the kind of person I am. Noba utimadenzi ndoni if ndiyangena, I do it. Yeah.
But very much based in freelancing and development.
Yes, of course. Because I always say I love freedom.
Yeah.
So whatever that makes me to be free, especially gay, eventually guys are winning simali.
Yeah, okay. Also it's monetary.
Yeah, monetary. Exactly.
Let's think of the coins, man.
Definitely.
No, that's beautiful, and thank you. I thank you for honoring the invite, and I think also that's the space where we met and we've engaged mostly, which is in development and community and all that. But we're gonna get more into that. But first, I would love us to play a quick game.
Okay.
It's a quick game. It's called Youth Capital Tentang Unemployment card game. So it's a card game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Shout out to Youth Capital for sponsoring us. Are they sponsoring us?
I like it.
Shut up. It's my birthday, bro. But so how it works now? Basically, you pick a card, and then we discuss it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you can pick any card. Showcase. I hope it's a good card. What's your card? What does it say?
What qualities do you associate with living good life?
That's the question. It's in it.
What qualities do you associate with living a good life?
What qualities do you associate with living a good life? Yeah, what qualities do you associate with living a good life?
It is a very difficult question, but I think qualities for me would go with the values. So basically, when you have a godly value, godly values,
okay, sure.
Yes, it actually for me it gives a direction of like how to live in a community that is. I think in our communities today, when I say today, the way we live, like the way things are, the cruelty and everything.
GBV, violence,
yes,
substance abuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of things. Our performance, at least when you actually associate yourself in a godly value, then you are able to live a better life. When I say better life, in terms of the community also, like as in being a good influence in the community, because I know that godly values are associated with good behavior.
What's the question?
What are
the qualities
do you associate with living a good life.
Okay, so you are associating a good life with
Yes.
with the values of godly values, as you say.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, sure.
And it meaning a good life now will actually expand, like as in for yourself and for the community. That's why I'm actually also including a community.
And you just came from church, eh?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no, godly
so
values.
the word will come like that.
What was the word in French? If you scripture.
Okay, it was
Say it. Now it's in the podcast.
Oh my word. It was in the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, I think verse 18. But it was basically talking about the fact that we are now no longer babies. We are actually acting as if we are still babies. We are supposed to be the teachers of the word now. But we're still wanting milk, which is the softer food. So it was encouraging much like people to actually grow spiritually, not to sit in the same place. So yeah, so they I think they
deep, it's powerful.
Yeah.
Yes,
because it talks about milk and hard food. But
Yeah.
actually you have to think about it deep.
It's metaphoric. That's
Exactly.
I love about the Bible. It's very metaphoric and poetic.
Yes, it is.
In its sense. Also, we must stop being babies and actually
grow basically to cool
Yeah.
and do things as if from Dalam.
away, shout out. Yeah, on the question, if I can think of it, so what qualities do I associate with a good life? I think the qualities of health, like good life, like health, you're healthy as a person, you're healthy, like you're a good life, your kids are healthy, your family is healthy. Long life, there's long life,
Sure.
you understand, and then there is a freedom and choice in terms of maybe education.
Sure.
But kids get educated. It doesn't no matter how, but that's what I associate with a good life.
I see.
There's education, there's health, there's a safe space, and good conversations about mental health.
Yes, sure.
That's a good life.
Definitely, it is. I think when it comes to security,
financial security as well.
Because I think good life and choice. Sometimes you realize that you don't have a good life because you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, it's the circumstance.
Exactly.
You
just go and work wherever because understand? When you have money or a good place, then you have a quality life.
Talking about unemployment, the current youth unemployment rate in Mzansi.
Sure.
Can you guess the percentage?
I don't know now.
Stucky, can you guess the percentage? 64%
Woo.
of young people in South Africa are currently unemployed. And then, so the thing is, some of them are unemployed, some of them are unemployable. There's a difference. So there's unemployment, but okay, mavusana akwazi ngoku akanasibani mavusana edibanisa. Kube quit like say mavusana asikwazi umqasha, does not have work skills, does not have soft skills, does not have engaging skills. So that's another level of the challenge.
Exactly. And I think that's one thing I thought of when I came in here, because I remember there was a time when I was assisting one of the schools, then we're doing interviews, interviewing abantu baseKasi, young people, EAs, assistant teachers. So now I'm actually calling them to come in for interviews, and some of them I know them like in person, as in having social interaction, and then I'm like, we're gonna speak English. They can't market themselves, and I think that's the problem, because I was once working in a one of the city of Cape Town, but we were doing work skills and as in a training. But I realized that most of young people, they don't want to attend these because they're not getting paid. And that's the problem. That's there, because now you need to be trained, and you need to be a person who's willing to get all this kind of information in order for you to grow. You can't be sitting down and saying full money.
We're not motivated.
Exactly.
We're motivated by money, which is good. You need to be motivated by money, but there's also other things that come with money, my brother. Anyway, yeah. But yeah,
it's actually like that.
Yeah, people don't access as a free skill, like it's a waste of time. Yo, I'm just but it's justified. People fair to like. Sometimes there's opportunities. People like there's a training opportunity or a study opportunity. Like it grand, but
sure.
As guys right now, I'm not looking for study opportunity. I'm looking for something that's gonna put bread on the table tonight.
Sure.
I'm looking my electricity is gonna go off soon. I'm looking for something to put the electricity. So
yeah, but the
different
thing
strategies to it, man.
But the thing is, I always saying while you are waiting.
Patience.
Like my thing is, you really don't have it now in those Obegi Malita playing, but you are sitting in the sun. Doing nothing. You understand? I think that's my problem. So we're saying, but we'll give you food for the day in the training, and then just come, and then we'll give you a certificate after that.
Upskilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
for free.
For free. You understand? But people still do not want to attend. Why? Because it's not like I'm saying so training is free. It's not like
like come and do something.
Do something while we're waiting.
Yeah. So it's something I think we have to work with as a band as well.
Sure.
Still, kid, what qualities do you associate with a good life? Yeah.
It's too hard for me.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
Like okay, like a good life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's living a good life. Like what are the characteristics as a way that you can tick off if there's 1, 2, and 3, then it's a good life. If you're not a good life yet. What you ever in that sense?
You know about okay, a good life about okay say things isn't sometimes be kula lewis on a good life.
Yeah. Just if we those are the things that you need.
For now isn't sebenzelayo it's just on being like between abantu yabo. That I have like a great mind zabo out.
Yeah.
Also they have ever since no system mali yabo as a person yabo you don't have to buy yourself money mali, you see. You gotta push like hard for yourself firstly ufumane as skills so that maybe khona kwa umuntu no scout asibona ba okay kuselo umuntu nayi passion yalento and then angakwenzela more money than le mali obuyifuna wena yabo. So those are kind of stuff yabo.
Money is also eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
But first you must attract it.
You have to believe on it.
Shout out. Your card, man.
Another one.
Oh, do I choose a card? Okay, cool. I choose a card.
Who's choosing who?
And then yellow man. Yes. Oh, this is crazy. Sure. So youth capital take an unemployment card. What's one thing the other person has taught you today, and what do you want to do because of it? What's one thing the other person has taught you today, and what do you want to do because of it? If I go first, like I think one thing I've learned from this conversation so far is like of doing things not just because I'm gonna get money now, but like chief, I can get upskilled and then do it for free now, but then can get scouted. That's gonna bring in more money if the end goal is monetary value. You understand? But I don't need to do everything. But okay, what will I get out of it right now? But in the long term, it can be something.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned.
It's even worse. I was gonna say the same, but I think
I can't copy and paste.
Okay, but I think it's actually something very. I think now you spoke up from the conversation. It's just to start, like as in I'm just thinking about. There's a lot of things that we get to learn, but we're saying 80. The richest place is in the
graveyard.
Yes, graveyard.
Yeah.
But if we say about like with the ideas, with the things you have, you can start something. You understand? And like in order for you to actually wait for whatever you are looking for, I'm actually looking at what we are doing here right now. It's actually something that you can start because it's people, there's a lot of people out there that you can even call umzekelo. They
can study. Start. Okay,
yes,
cool. Yeah.
as in start somewhere.
Yeah.
Initiate projects.
I get you.
Do things in the community, because I think get exposure, get people that will actually help you to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually, from this conversation, there's nothing we cannot do as people, as long as we're still alive.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah,
it's powerful, man.
Now I'm gonna tap in some of your hours. Yeah, I think I learned a lot because of where I came from, Likasi, whereby ezinye izinto I was born in it, but because of like internet, ezinye izinto uqhela uzibona kude and stuff. But ever since ke ngondithe nami xa ndifika, but then I saw a lot of things like equipment and stuff, and I felt like maybe now I'm gonna get in kula point, even though it's not about money, because andispani, but I know that kuzokwenzeka kuba okay ndibe kulela zinga loba ndifikelele kule opportunity ba nami ndibe ne studio like this, yabo.
Shout out to Pujonga, recording at Jongapa Studios. And Mzansi chat. Shout out to Pujonga one time. I bought an episode of yeah. But shout out. Counting?
Yeah.
They must take this thing away from me. I've been saying everything. But yeah, we're still out here with Sis V. Sis Vuisa. Vuisa.
Yes, that's my
it's my first day, right? Sis V. But yeah, it's very nice having you. Yeah, what's been on your mind? I mean, it's June 16, it's Youth Month. Father's Day. Do you think Father's Day is still relevant?
Not at all. You know,
what? Not at all.
Like I think, say Pusha and Jesse Father.
Say Fostella.
I say Fostella for real. Like I even forgot actually Father's Day.
But when it comes by to Mother's Day, but
yeah, Mother's Day.
I think that's why I ended up saying it's fatherless generation.
Yeah.
Because even like I was saying, I was at church and then I was doing announcement at church, and then my mom Fundis is like, you didn't actually say Happy Father's Day. So I had to tell the preacher about Happy Father's Day to the fathers, because I think it's actually because of the absent fathers.
Yeah.
Shout out to those who are present and those who are actually fathers.
Shout out, my niggas.
Yeah, even to those who are adopted, who are just caregivers.
Who stepped up, stepfathers. Hey, you niggas, you people out there are very, very, very. Why are you laughing at stepfathers?
Step them up, please.
They're stepping up. I see on social media, hey, people are vile, bruh.
Yeah.
People with stepfathers. There was a thing, did you see like on your point though, but did you see Untanotuma? Do you see Untanotuma? She's this actress, entertainment industry girl. And then Untanotuma was in this relationship, she had this kid. The relationship ended, met another guy, then the guy they're together, so the guy stepped up and became a stepfather, and then now they got married. And people are grilling him, Joe. People are like, you're coming to the match, it's already 1-0. I'm like, yo. But you are joining a family, you're not starting a family. You're like, it's like joining a WhatsApp group. People are saying wild things. People are saying like, it's like when you are invited to come and clean at a party that you did not attend. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. People are saying the wildest thing. People are cruel on there, Joe. People are cruel. And that's the culture, and that's the thing about social media. People can just post and I don't care, Joe. You're not here. I just post and do that, vibe.
They can butcher people.
So people can butcher, so it's even hard. And then it says Happy Father's Day. So how do you balance that?
You find fathers that have stepped in, but Happy Father's Day to you. Oh yeah, to you. Actually, it's very difficult.
It's crazy, man.
Because it's difficult, because at the same time you get to understand if this is not your child, but they're not my children. You understand? I'm actually playing somebody's role.
Yeah.
And that person is somewhere enjoying
living life, Joe.
Exactly.
You must think about the winter now.
And you must
I need
think
to buy
about
them clothes.
every season, basically.
Joe,
Hey, please, yeah.
So it's very
it's a pandemic
It is.
that has affected, I think, our communities.
And I think something on social media, somebody was saying, we groom girls most of the time. Like girls should baziphathe ngohlobo oluthile for a man or rather for umtshana.
Okay, sure.
Pheka, yes. Awukwazi uba endlini ngexesha elithile or outside ngexesha elithile, things like that. But I think we lack, or rather we need more fathers who will groom even young boys who are still growing up, because some of the GBVs, it's actually as a result of absent fathers. You understand? Like as in the anger that I actually grew up without my father as well.
Okay.
And I did realize that as a woman, I had anger issues. You understand? And that anger is because of rejection. And the same thing, and I remember during that time, I would actually be angry when I hear my father, because my father is still alive. When I hear my father saying nasty things, you understand, being angry at him, but where was he? You understand, and all that. So imagine if I was not groomed, or rather, I did not seek counseling or for me to be a better person. And imagine when a boy child grows up without a father, because that is a rejection. It's already something it's something that is always there as a pain that you feel. So I think some of the things in our communities, it is mostly the grooming of boys, young boys. Actually having abantu who can be men enough to groom these boys. Because for me, I had to find somebody who will play a father figure. And in order for me to actually find myself to be a woman that is not angry as I was. You understand? So,
because we're facing a pandemic of fatherless children, and like in particular, if you look at two communities in the South African context, we've got black, and that's broad. You can break that down on its own, but black and colored communities. If you look at those two households, usually what happens is the father figure is not there. It's usually a mother or a grandmother or an auntie or even a child-headed household. You understand? And that's broadways between the colored community and the black community. It's a very common story. But then if you look at other families, if you look at white household, the father predominantly, generally. I know there's a Yaku somewhere out there who does not have a father. I know there's a Peter out there, but generally, in the greater context of things, the father is there, the mother is there. It's a complete nucleus, family nucleus, right?
Sure.
With the Indian family, if you look at it, it's also a complete nucleus like that. With the Muslim, Assalamu alaikum, it's also like a vibe like that. But if you look at the black and colored communities, we've got that pandemic happening within us. And then the output of that, then if you also look at prison population, predominantly, it's the black and colored. If you look at the GBV and femicide, what's happening? Predominantly black and colored. Armed robbery, as crimes. So what I'm saying, that the father figure missing in that household, it's a thing. And shout out to the fathers that are there. Shout out to them. But I was saying to Tabuja last time, please check out Fumeka's podcast. Last episode, I was saying, it's fine. Shout out to the fathers that are there. We see you. But why must we clap for you for doing what you're supposed to do?
No, but there mustn't be any part, so to shout out. So
no!
You are changing the whole thing. Basically, you're not even saying shout out.
Maybe that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe that's my point. Let's not shout out to them because they're doing what they're supposed to do. Would you clap your hands for a fish that swims?
Nah,
I know
the fish swims.
I know it's always the case. We always say that, but I think it's just to appreciate actually. When
for what? For doing what you're supposed to do.
Because there are people who are not doing it.
Exactly.
I know that it's not about a fish that is actually supposed to be swimming. We're saying, but now it's a case.
Fish is supposed to swim. It's swimming.
And you know
for this
No, but
The sun is shining, guys. The sun is supposed to shine. It is supposed to shine. Sun.
No.
So it's shining.
But-
Clap hands for the sun shining.
also, come on.
Come on.
Listen.
For abanye uba babona ba inhle into you have to ba uncome.
Yes,
So that babona ba okay this thing iwe grand.
Exactly.
And iwe yoba ngutata there's no need ba ube nemali but amanzi
Okay, sure, yeah.
that's the thing
Exactly.
yabo
Yeah.
abanye abantu bangabakhona bengutata like babe nayo imali bayenze but if
But
abathi
it was-
That's
there's
true.
nothing that's gonna work.
That's true. Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I think Leno Iteta, you know, but as long as you are trying, because I
Yeah.
think it's actually that trying that
Yeah.
is claimed for.
That we're applauding.
Like,
But you're trying what you're supposed to do. But I hear you guys. What you
It's
trying?
like,
But you do it.
Maybe if you're an employee,
Yeah.
and then your employer applauds you for what you are
Okay,
passionate about.
okay, no, it's another angle.
And then
Another angle. Oh, so we're all employed here, but
like
I'm working hard.
Of course,
So I'm
yeah.
working hard.
Better, please. Because you are encouraging me to do more and do it.
I get it, though, but yeah, but that's Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's not such a huge thing, but it is a thing.
Yeah.
People forget about it, yeah, but the thing.
And I think we must actually celebrate everybody on earth. Like as in
Everybody,
on earth.
everybody.
As in everybody.
Everybody.
Like when I say everybody, I mean like
Chup
youth.
chup.
No, man.
Is that everybody? Is that
But
everybody?
we can celebrate.
Tabo Besta. Imagine you celebrate Tabo Besta now. No, some people don't deserve to celebrate it. Some people are bad. Nah, some people are bad, bro.
But uThuphuthuphu nje uzenzile wezakhe then wazigqokisela and waphinda wabuya as umuntu wonke.
All in this country.
Yeah, we have to.
Yes,
Lord.
come on.
You guys call us Cosmo Puma. Into entire motive.
Abantu abafana noPastor Song, Pastor Bando besando banjwa ngokwatha Omotoso.
Yeah.
And still he's starting a church again.
That's
God, I know. Like
That's a power high. That's a power high. Yeah.
So, but I think when I say celebrated,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of making a world a better place. Because I feel like if we're saying about Happy Women's Day, you see how women will be very excited when it's Women's Day, when it's Mother's Day. You understand?
Heritage
and
Day.
like Heritage and Heritage Ngena Mother's Day.
No, look, I'm not gonna. We're celebrating everything. So we're celebrating the men, which is Father's Day. We're celebrating the women,
Yes.
which is Valentine's Day, which is their birthday, which is Mother's Day, which is Women's Day,
Oh my word.
which is girlfriend's day. But it's fine, And then
Nothing wrong
we
with
celebrate Heritage Day. So all your cultures, it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're celebrating
and
everybody.
Father's Day as well.
Somewhere
so, and others.
And others, many more.
No, but still, we need to celebrate them.
Yeah.
I think we should actually see building culture for Basiba celebrate, because what this celebration does to a person, it is making them a better person, better people.
I'm seeing.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
See me.
understand. I see you,
Yeah.
understand, and I think we'll even get our fathers, our Kwazu express themselves. You know, you see a father being happy or a man being happy. Yeah, not only happy, I'm also going to Otlayakoa.
But imagine a man being happy, man.
I go, come on. So what do you do, guys? Aren't you getting happy?
No, we get happy, but is there time to be happy, man? As a man, you focus on serious things.
Yeah.
Like,
God,
No,
that's the thing, but it's not supposed to be like that because you're a human being.
but but as a man, you're supposed to be. You can't be just
pleasure
happy.
and stuff.
Imagine, on a random Tuesday, you're just happy.
Yeah.
You're just happy, You're not stressing about maybe renting. You're just happy, But I get where you're coming from in terms of let's be expressive and
Yeah, please.
just happy, Joe.
Be happy. and also be able to say when you are angry.
Express emotions.
Express your emotions. I think it goes to appreciate your emotions.
Yeah. No, I get you.
That is seen. You understand? So I think if it can be a culture, then it would be a better place.
Shout out. Shout out.
Okay.
So that's Father's Day. Shout out to the fathers. But with this pandemic, I hope this young generation was father and now we get to be present fathers.
Sure.
And break that cycle, because it's a cycle. And we follow it, it's crazy because sometimes, but also not dwelling too much on this father thing, but sometimes you find that the father's not present, and as a child you hate the father or something. But then if you dig deep, you find out that the grandfather was not present for the father. So he also does not know how to father.
Sure.
The grandfather was not fathered by the great-grandfather, but because it was apartheid and mining and not making excuses or anything, you understand, but land errors. You find that the grandfather's father, it's a whole cycle. So
But
it's
sometimes
like 7th generation, dog.
but kuyafuneka siphinde sijonge ngamanye amacala because like abantu abangomama yabo they do like bayakwazi babamcutha umnana
Too much, yes. Balwe battles about through That's the craziest thing, yeah.
Zezinye zezinto ezenza ba abanye tata bangakwazi bayifumana opportunity yabo yohlala nabantwana babo yabo. So
I also think sorry, we probably need we were talking about omyutata and I do also think, as you are talking, I'm thinking of Ama 2000. Like Ama 2K. So I'm feeling the 2Ks, I'm making this generation a better generation. I know that Ama 2K are sort of associated as the negative but I want to say, Ama 2K actually are learning. I do think, they actually take their time to learn. Even though Dada was not there, but I'm not here for my children. Yeah, or for my child. So I do think, in as much as we have that cycle and the lack of fatherhood before father figure, but it's actually a matter of one. Making sure I'm not gonna be like my father.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy, like I'm saying, but there's quite a lot of podcasting work, there's radios, there's TVs, there's social media that teaches how to be a father, how to understand. So there's quite a lot of things. Let's just do things better. I understand your point though in terms of I won't really say much about that, but it's another thing that needs to be dealt with. Like the point where like mothers would actually exactly
fight the battle with the child, that thing, keep the baby away from you. It's crazy.
It's cruel, kid, that one. But also not only cruel, but it also depends on.
You remember what she said to me? She said, when you say bad, you're canceling everything. Now she's out here, bad. It's cruel, bad. It's cruel, however. So it's cruel.
16.
Okay, no, just leave it.
So I think I don't want to give like every situation, like to cover every situation in the same blanket.
I get you,
You understand? Because I'm saying it's cruel because there are ladies who are intentionally doing it because they're fighting their own battles. But then there are actually other battles that esingazaziyo thina ke ngoku esizothi hayiba kutheni emfihla kanti they know there is should I say amasiko kanye izithethe of families like customs, how we do as a family. You don't just come and ubone umntana without paying for the child kind of thing. But there's quite a lot in culture. Thank you. There's quite a lot of izinto as like hidden things esingazuzazi thina as a community. Will be like hayiba kuthena ngamnika umntana okanye whatsoever it is. Yes, okay, kwaye now ubhuti or rather utata is not like it's not being a father, but uyathetha kwi social media uba uyandifihlela umntana kanti xa bedibene nomama umntana they not doing the parenting thing together.
No, it's complex.
It is
complex, and it goes per case study or per family, but it's very complex. The relationships, especially when there's umntana involved, it's crazy. Because I'm even thinking now, but that's a whole other topic. But talking about my 2K being present fathers.
Sure.
But that's even crazy on its own.
Yeah.
My 2K, they're 25
Yes.
present fathers.
I know.
So also to say our priority. But that's our reality.
I know that's
our
our reality.
But it's
That's
like
the
looking
thing.
at Chief, what's happening? I do Praga here, one of the Norwegian students, which did a thing, and I was just cultural exchange. He was saying, by in a way, the average of starting a family is like 30.
Sure.
30 years.
That's
Bro,
nice.
you get to do your life, get a
that's
foundation
nice.
and do. But that's also environment. I think environment is different.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think we spend too much time on fathers who are not present, guys. They're not gonna hear this. Fathers are gonna be hear this. Happy Father's Day. Apparently, I've been converted. Happy Father's Day if you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you're a fish, that's just swimming. Happy Father's Day for being a sun that's shining. For doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
For doing some Happy Father's Day, apparently. Have a good one. But yeah, shout out to the present fathers. And those who father, I didn't care my phone, but also like, thank you to Sense Baba. Being a father does not necessarily mean fathering your own child per
Yes,
se, but
yeah.
also like as you as brothers,
Yes.
as that goodman by strategy,
Sure.
born as a way, beside tamtura and stuff.
Yeah.
I call tamtura, but also like it's like it's like out, it's like tisha la scared, but okay, say as a coach and whatnot. So it's also that's also ways of fathering. So shout out to you too, man, for being a positive role model. Because this is the only holiday we get as a Mashita. So let's make use of it. Happy birthday to you, Mashita. Happy birthday to us as a Mashita.
Happy Valentine's
Happy Valentine's. Let's take it, Mashita. Yeah, to the win, because the rest of the year it's on us.
Cultural day. Happy to you.
Duke.
Everything.
This time, after the way, it's only Heritage Day about your own mom. Me back to
Yeah.
them. The one that look beautiful.
Yes, start.
Christmas is them. Okay, wait, this is the only day for us as gents. Excuse me, dog.
Them too.
But shout out. But yeah, moving forward, it's Youth Month as well, Sisfi.
Sure.
It's Youth Month. Hey, June 16. What's happening? You know, what's the old conversation? Do we still wear uniform? What's happening? Let me just kind of start to 2K.
Yeah, it's June 16.
Yeah, solid 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid 2K.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out.
I don't think 16 like you don't tap in Tina as bad the way it was like
Yeah, but
back
we don't
then.
Tap in, you know.
Yeah, as a society like serious, we take it as a holiday. Yeah. Those are the things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
like weekend and cool, those kind of things. Yeah,
weekend
yeah,
and
but
cool.
we take it as that.
Wow.
Do you know the issue of June 16? Do you personally know the issue of June 16?
Yeah, I do.
What happened?
I
How about you
think
smart? What happened?
ooh, the guy that was killed.
The guy that was killed.
Shut
I forgot the name.
Which guy was killed? Which guy was killed?
I forgot the
What
name.
happened? Wait, what happened in June 16?
I think they were fighting about Africans and stuff,
Oh.
about subjects,
Mm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Oh, 2K, Joe, what 2K? What 2K? I don't know, this dude, man, I don't know. He was quelling on some other
Yeah.
level. He didn't like the quelling
Very
on the
deep.
Africans level. He's like, nah, we're not gonna call this. And then he called Ismail.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Yo, Hector Peterson is turning in his grave.
Yeah, Hector Peterson. Hector Peterson.
Hector Peterson is turning in his grave, Joe, on the highest level.
Wow.
So, okay, that's what happened. Yeah, so there's a disconnect between.
Yeah.
I had a conversation to Mr. Bakin about the way youth mind. We still see this. We still commemorate it as remember our generation.
Sure.
Remember your generation. But even then, when my generation came,
yeah.
we were also still in touch. We used to wear school uniform. We used to go wear school uniform.
Yes.
See it at the 800 sense events. School started vibe. So. What Mr. Baki was saying was that there's a generational gap or a knowledge gap between because remember we've had different generations. We've had the 80s.
Sure.
It's not the boomers. Generation X. Okay, with the 80s. Ne?
Yeah.
This was fresh to them because they're related. But 1976 one man died. Then the 90s, which is the Which generation is this?
Maybe you could
Millennials.
say the 90s also, like a half year 1990s, and then the other half is actually close to the 2000s.
From 95?
Yeah.
From 98?
No, maybe 98.
Huh?
Later.
Is it flashing?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, cool. And then we had the 2000s,
Sure.
we kind of didn't relate. Then we had the Fizz Must Fall movement, then we related. That was our struggle.
Sure.
But then now we got the Quellas and the 2Ks. There's that guy, bro, he was running.
Always tell the party.
Yeah. President So yeah, what are your thoughts on 2016? Is that the vibe?
Ooh, I think we've lost it. I must say, even though there are still people like a remnant that is actually still wanting to do something on that day. And I do feel like, in as much, I think these holidays must not only be celebrated on the day. You understand? Like, as in, it must be a continuous thing, because now we want to bring youth programs on the 16th. You know, we're looking for a soccer match, like a soccer team to play with, and we realized that most of the people we're talking to, they're fully booked. And I'm like thinking, okay, definitely people now had made sure Baba is getting fully booked for this day. But then the results, I don't think they are really there. Sorry.
That's okay.
So I think in as much as I think somewhere that's why I was saying maybe we can break it like the 90s. We take maybe the 98s, 97, because I saw that you didn't want us to go from 1995.
No, Hector Peter said, I know that it was his sister, they were running there, got the caretaker, and then the caretaker, he went and hid himself, maybe he's still alive, and Hector Peter was died. I was there, dog. I feel the pain, dog. I feel the pain, dog.
Okay, so I feel like everything was fresh for the early 90s.
Yeah, it was fresh, yeah.
The 80s as well. But hence, the generational gap, or rather that gap, I think is in the 90s and the 2000s.
Moving forward, yeah.
And as a result, mostly we know that on the 16th, siyasela, okanye kuyasela, or you understand, and like it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Instead, we should commemorate the day, like as in, what were they doing then? We should be doing it now, like in terms zangoku. You understand? We should be people abazisa uchinge, or even these days. Making sure that we bring these programs that will actually bring awareness. We'll talk about what can I do to be in the next level, because they were fighting for our freedom. Education, which is actually part of the freedom, because once you are educated, you actually be free. You'll be able to get money.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a conversation of another day, because there are a lot of people that are sitting there which they are educated. But at least you are in a better place once you get like education and all that. So I feel like we should have this conversation now and then in terms of what is it that as youth today that we should do to make our lives better. So we should have those kind of talks, because then they had to fight, like there were actions much than talking. They were not given a platform to talk. But we have these platforms. We should talk and do, and also open opportunities for us to do now. It shouldn't be a matter of us having to do a lot of fun more than actually doing the positive things. So I feel like it's not per se, it's no longer there. I do think we're still having it in mind as a just a holiday, a holiday.
There's a vibe.
Otherwise, we should continue to do it though.
Shout out. I just walked in with two ladies, but we're just wrapping up because also the bench. But thank you so much for tuning in. Any final words? Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. We feel like we should do it again.
Please.
Definitely.
Yes.
But any final words before the bench goes off and then we'll move there?
Okay, I think thank you very much again for the invite.
Shout out.
I also like to, I like these kind of platforms, But I think I would just say change starts from within, or rather from one person. We can't be expecting youth to be a better youth if when as an individual you do not make life better for yourself and the person next to you. And also be an opportunist as a young person. I know but for me as a person, I've actually gone to quite a lot of short courses training, which most of them are free. Or actually, I think all of them are free. And then I actually do business out of that. Yeah. So I'm trying to say, it's just a small thing. CV for young people. For me, do you know how much do they pay me to CV?
No.
200.
What?
I know.
It's a scam. 10 triple 1. 10 triple 1. Somebody. 200 rand.
And they do pay.
10 triple 1. Why do they pay 200?
They do
Why?
pay. Because I'm actually going to do CVs for them.
How much?
200.
200 rands.
They do pay.
Because of the car?
No, there's nothing different. Like you can do it on your phone as well. It's just that you don't want to do it in Ngogwako, so I'm not doing it for you.
You don't want to do it.
Yes.
Exactly. Lack of knowledge.
It's a lack of knowledge and the lack of standing up for yourself.
What kind of CV? Does this CV get you a job in the car? What is this CV?
I can imagine that type of CV. Because if you lack knowledge.
But the thing is, I also use AI.
Okay,
So that's one thing that you don't do. So my thing is, you don't just receive or rather do social media. You have to do it for yourself as well. So I think there's a lot of things that everybody is money. But you go by fringe and it's nothing. So
Yeah, but shout out to the scammer who's scamming people for but on a serious note, shout out. Thank you so much for. Please do come again. I think we have a lot to unpack. We have a lot more to unpack. But that's been another fun-filled, educational, and entertaining. Okay, shout out to Pujo.
Just showing these ladies what is happening here.
Shout out, thank you for tuning in. Please like this video, share, subscribe, and check out our videos. Otherwise, from us to you, see the tango. Bah! 200 rands. That's a lot of money.
250 basically.
I saw. I don't know.